Good morning. It's Thursday, January 9th, 2025. In my continuing series of 3-song sets that you might hear at an open mic, I'm going to do Summertime, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgeralds by Gordon Lightfoot, and Seven Spanish Angels, as you might hear it, by Willie Nelson and Ray Charles. So here's Summertime. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your dad is rich and your mom is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. Gonna rise up singing. Spread your wings and you take to the sky. But until that morning, there ain't nothing can harm you. With your daddy and your mommy standing by. Here's The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald by one of my favorite artists, Gordon Lightfoot. The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi. Lake, it is said, never gives up her dead when the skies of November turn gloomy. The load of iron ore, 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty. Good ship and crew was a bone to be chewed when the gales of November came early. Ship was the pride of the American side, coming back from some mill in Wisconsin. Big freighters go, it was bigger than most, with a crew and a good captain well seasoned. Saluting some terms with a couple of steel firms when they left fully loaded for Cleveland. Later that night when the ship's bell rang, could it be the north wind they'd been feeling? Well, the wind in the wires made a tattletale sound and a wave broke over the railing. Every man knew, as the captain did too, 'twas a witch of November come stealing. Dawn came late and the breakfast had to wait when the gales of November came slashing. Afternoon came, it was freezing rain in the face of a hurricane west wind. Supper time came, the old cook came on deck, saying, fellas, it's too rough to feed you. 7 p.m. the main hatchway caved in. He said, fellas, it's been good to know you. Captain wired in, he had water coming in, and the good ship and crew was in peril. Later that night, when the lights went out of sight, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Does anyone know where the love of God goes when the waves turns the minutes to hours? Searchers all say they'd have made Whitefish Bay if they'd put 15 more miles behind her. Well, they might have split up or they might have capsized. They may have broke deep and took water. All that remains is the faces and the names of the wives and the sons and the daughters. Lake Huron rolls, Lake Superior sings in the rooms of her ice water mansion. Old Michigan steams like a young man's dreams. The islands and the bays are for sportsmen. Farther below, Lake Ontario takes in what Lake Erie can send her. Iron boats go, as the mariners all know, with the gales of November, remember. In a dusty old hall in Detroit, they prayed in the Maritime Sailor Cathedral. Church bell chime, it rang 29 times for each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald. Legend lives on from the Chippewa down of the big lake they call Gitchigumi. Lake, it is said, never gives up her dead when the gales of November come burning. There were 7 Spanish angels at the altar of the sun. They were praying for the lovers in the valley of the gun. Battle stopped and the smoke cleared, there was thunder from the throne. 7 Spanish angels took another angel home. He looked down into her brown eyes and said, say a prayer for me. She threw her arms around him and whispered, God will keep us free. They could hear the riders coming. He said, this is my last fight. They might take me back to Texas, but they won't take me back alive. She reached down and picked the gun up that lay smoking in his hand. She said, Father, please forgive me. I can't make it without my man. She knew the gun was empty. She knew she could not win. And her final prayer was answered when the rifles fired again. There were 7 Spanish angels angels at the altar of the sun. They were praying for the lovers in the valley of the gun. When the battle stopped and the smoke cleared, there was thunder from the throne. 7 Spanish angels took another angel